I feel if we had engaged with Resolute sooner, we would have had a Xamarin app out, 18 months ago. I feel it's like I can sleep at night now. Before we headed over to Resolute was suffering performance issues. It was glitchy. Just really wasn't something that we could ever release to our user base. And I think, at this point, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now. But our previous outsource partner was unable to meet our expectations on usability and user experience. And that's when we went looking and found Resolute.
Can you briefly introduce yourself, James, and ClickHome?
I'm one of the founders and Chief Technology Officer for ClickHome. We're a construction software company based in Perth, Western Australia. Our product ClickHome meets the needs of Australia's largest residential building companies that build homes. We focus on the top 100 residential builder target market. We released the first version in 2004. It's been internet-based from the very beginning, and we have done all sorts of mobile versions. We started with a Palm Pilot. We had the original Windows Mobile, mobile.net, I think it was called. We did a Windows Phone 7 when that was released. We did iPhone and iPad versions. And recently, we've had a Windows laptop version for the field supervisors combined with the desktop backend. We do everything except the estimating and accounting, and we don't do drafting, but we do the supply chain, CRM, project management, workflows that underpin the operation of the bigger builders.
Fantastic. And can you talk a little bit about the role of your applications for the customers that you're servicing?
The residential construction market at the top end is typically what they call project home builders. So they already have predefined products, plans, house designs that are all ready to go. And in the Australian market, compared to the to other markets around the world, but the Australian market, the customer will buy and own the land and then choose a builder to build a house for them. And they select that pretty much from, reputation and the house designs, products and price points that the builders offer. And the workflow involved in getting approvals for that particular house design on that particular plot. Excited that the builders, have a workflow just to get ready for construction that might be 150 or 200 tasks. And throughout that process, the customer makes all the choices. They have complete control. The saying in Australia is it's the largest investment anybody will ever make. And so all of the information that goes into the residential construction process, the products that the customer selected, the house designs, the finish, the fittings, all the appliances that go into it. Our application tracks all of that, gets it ready for construction, and then we help the builders with the on-site operation, which is when it goes out to the field software for the site supervisors to organise all the trades and subcontractors and suppliers to deliver the material and the labour to have the house built. So most of our companies, our clients think of themselves as home builders, but in actual fact, they don't employ anybody that picks up a hammer or does any plumbing. They outsource all of that, and our software does all the coordination of that activity and outsourcing.
TK, can you briefly introduce yourself and Resolute and its role into this project?
Yeah, so I'm Director of Software Engineering at Resolute. And here at Resolute, we are working on modernizing software systems that usually stays in the core of the business of the companies that we are partnering with, primarily focusing on the cloud, web, and in this case, mobile. Our engagement was primarily related to the Xamarin application, which currently is one of the core products that ClickHome is working on. And we were initially engaged into assessing and addressing some of the most pressing issues related to performance and UX that needed to be that were basically reducing the experience to the users using the system.
Thank you very much. And mentioning this code review and assessments, what are actually the critical technical issues that you identified during architectural review?
Yeah, so let me follow a little bit of history, how the engagement unfolded. Initially, with James, we met when the application that had been built on Xamarin, it was targeting iOS and UWP as a platforms, had experienced some performance issues in several of the workflows that needed to be addressed. For this, we are perfectly fit because we understand the stack and we understand the components that are being used. So we did offer a very custom solution that addresses particularly these needs. But what we also found during our initial engagement is that there is more to be looked and tended to, looking at the code base and the current state of the system. Particularly in direction of maintenance and future growth of the application itself. So there were some initial findings and recommendations that we sent even after our initial engagement that later on we came back to that, not because of the importance of those issues, but also due to the fact that Xamarin now is officially obsolete. So we need to push into migration towards MAUI. So at that moment, the issue that arose and the discussion that we had with James was primarily related to whether Xamarin is actually a viable technology for this use case. Because up until this point, there was not much confidence into that this stack can actually deliver what it's aimed for. The initial version of the application released of the field software was built on a native stack in iOS, and the current version simply did not match the experience that the business needs. So part of this assessment actually was discovering what are the core issues and can they be overcome. And well, just to jump to the conclusion, basically all the issues weren't related to the stack itself. It's more that it needs a specific expertise in order to get the maximum value out of the stack, which actually it's quite good, quite mature, and does allow you to leverage .NET skills in order to target all the mobile platforms.
Thank you for the so nice technical summary of the probably the major issues here. And probably question to you, James. What challenges led ClickHome to seek for architectural review and modernization?
I think as TK touched on, previously we maintained separate code bases for, we had a native iOS application and we had a Windows tablet application and separate code bases. And our goal was to rebuild both of them onto a common code base so that we could then perform steps modernizing our backend API and the connection to the server and lower maintenance costs instead of having to do that twice for each of those. So that's where we first undertook the project on Xamarin, but our previous outsource partner was unable to meet our expectations on usability and user experience, and we essentially faced the decision: do we abandon Xamarin and the investment we'd made, or did we seek expertise that better suited our project and our goals? And that's when we went looking and found Resolute.
Fantastic. All right. And actually, the resolved issues that we have now, what is the biggest impact on your application's performance that you're seeing?
I think the area of our application that has sort of the most visibility is what we call the call sheet. It's essentially a list of tasks for the supervisor to organize all the activities on site. So the supervisor drives around to each of the houses being built. They're not all in the same spot. It might be, 3 in this suburb and 4 in a suburb further away, but they generally visit 10 to 15 houses per day. 10 to 15 projects. And when they get to site, they essentially live on that call sheet. That keeps visible what's happening on site, what needs to be done, check off all the documentation, complete inspections, all of that. And the call sheet was for the Xamarin app before we headed over to Resolute was suffering performance issues. It was glitchy. Just really wasn't something that we could ever release to our user base. And now, we're almost ready to release the Xamarin version prior to the MAUI migration. And our test team say it's just like the native app and, just exactly where we needed it to be. So I think probably that's been the biggest thing. And I don't feel it was any one thing. It was a combination of too many things done wrong in the project where it was.
Sounds good. And probably also from technical perspective. So TK, can you explain how Resolute improved those critical elements? And James mentioned some of these, but from technical perspective, how we managed to improve?
Well, I did mention this before. One of the things that we can leverage is the fact that we know the stack inside and out, including the components. Because of that, we know where the potential issues might arise, because when building cross-platform solutions for mobile, one of the challenges is that you actually need to play well with all of the different native stacks, and also consider the fact that you're building on .NET, which again is another level of complexity. So you can achieve something quite efficient and quite fast if you know exactly how you can approach a certain problem. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And one other aspect on that is I did mention the other aspect, which is, let's say, close to technical, the fact that Xamarin applications now needs to be modernized, because we'll get to the situation that it cannot no longer be submitted on the store. And one of the challenges actually that we did have is the fact that there are too many blocking issues that we did have, that all of those needed to be addressed in order to application to be released, but also the fact that we need to consider when we are going to migrate to MAUI. So one of the things and one of the proposition is to split those out and basically leverage what we know that would work even in Xamarin, addressing those issues even before the migration, so the customers can receive that version of the application sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and we also needed to improve the code structure, right? And the assets quality too.
Yes. Basically, when we are talking about the particular findings and the challenges, what we found out is that the current code base was structured, and it seemed the aim was when it was building to hit the mark in terms of short-term goals and deadlines, requirements, but it didn't look into the big picture, how this product is going to evolve, how it can become a good platform over which new features can be easily rolled out. And furthermore, there were some issues with assets, with coupling, things that we are currently improving throughout the stack gradually. And currently we are looking in a way that we can do it a bit seamlessly. So without the need of a big milestone rather than incremental improvement.
Sounds great. Yeah, and of course, this modernization has some commercial purposes. The end goal and purpose of this is to have a better application, better user experience, and more business for ClickHome for sure. So, talking about the business side, James, a question for you. This is how Resolute align on the technical improvements with the broader business objects for you?
I think it's probably along the lines of what TK said. It is a competitive market, and we need to be able to adapt to changing market conditions quickly. Whether it's new aspects of compliance for the trades and the supervisors operating on site, or it's better information to help them make better decisions. It's it's going to be integrating AI into verifying information and generating additional content or processes, double checking things, etc. So the need to keep up with the market demands, never stops. And since we started the Xamarin project, essentially the goal of that was to modernize, to make use of our updated API on the back end. And it's taken much longer, with the previous outsourced partner to get to a stable product. And I feel if we had engaged with Resolute sooner, we would have had a Xamarin app out, 18 months ago. And that really is critical to us being able to adapt to changes. Having an application that we only have to write once, having it being able to perform and adapt to, whether it's updated iOS or iPad releases, or what comes out on Windows tablets, etc. I just feel, over the last 18 months, 2 years, we've really had our hands tied in getting the product out. And having a modern application that's easy to maintain and easy to release new features, etc., is critical. We are suffering at the moment with feedback from our clients in the delays that we've incurred. But obviously at the point before we engaged with Resolute, we really were at a crossroads and pretty close to abandoning the whole thing, which would have set us back a lot further.
Oh, thank you for the positive feedback, James. This is really very, very important for us, and the reason why we are doing all this. But do you feel more prepared now for ClickHome's future growth and innovation, having probably more trusted partner and clear next steps?
I feel it's like I can sleep at night now. It's one of the as one of the owners. The constant pressure, the what if scenarios, there's new competitors, without the technology, and the technological debt in the product. They're able to sort of come out with something very cheap and easy, which might, win a few hearts and minds very early on. But, we've got a legacy in terms of our client base and our functionality that we need to maintain. Keeping all of that running and then putting ourselves in a position where we can continue to innovate, is really critical. And I think, at this point, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel now, and we're really excited about what we can deliver in 2025. With the existing Xamarin version, but also as MAUI comes on board, and our ability to add features and add functionality and meet our users' needs much, much quicker than we have in the past.
We are excited too, I can assure you. And we are talking about application, but also I've heard TK mentioning a ClickHome platform, which is leading me to the question now, having this .NET MAUI migration, what are actually the next steps towards even more improving the ClickHome platform?
One of the things that I think might be a thing to consider is once we get to a stable state of the application, and what is possible is start considering targeting, for example, even broader set of devices, something like Android might not be far-fetched, and this
We have spoken about that already.
you had. Nice. Yeah. Basically, the idea here is that once we have confidence into the platform and the application built on top of it, now we can roll out even to broader reach and be easier to engage new clients, I assume.
Fantastic. James, what would be your advice to companies considering similar modernization projects?
I think, as I said, the software product development is as challenging as it's ever been. And I think the important thing is to have a clear idea of where you want to go, but then engage and work with the right people that can get you there. And I think that's probably number one is it's great to have ideas and goals and things like that, but it's how you execute and how you actually turn those ideas into reality that really makes a difference. And I would say look at your partners, look at your team, and look at how you deliver your product, and make clever decisions on that path.
Nice one. All right, and probably TK, your comment about how Resolute is keep adding to our commitment to add value to each and every project.
Yeah, as with ClickHome and with our engagements, what we are looking for is not just another engagement or a project. The way we approach any challenge, technical or business, is to look into how a product company would going to address that within its internal technical team and expertise in order to build something that would sustain the wins of the future, and how what we're building today would help us together as a partnership to drive this further and bring more value to the customer.
Fantastic. Guys, anything else that you would like to add or comment? Probably James, first to you, if there is something.
No, I think just really appreciate what TK's done for us. It's been very satisfying to get the whole project back on track.
Yeah, the pleasure is mutual.
Fantastic. Also, from on behalf of the whole team, it's great having you as a customer, and once again, appreciate that you are taking the time and you are saying so nice words and positive feedback about the work. We just so far looking forward to not only 2025 but also much more behind and how to help you grow and really conquer the market for sure.